Hi everyone, I'm Yang Chen from Tianjin University. It's my pleasure to share our work on unit testing here. Software testing plays a critical role in software development, ensuring that software behaves as expected and is free of defects. Unit testing, in particular, is a cornerstone of this process. It helps catch defects early, reducing both the cost and effort required to fix them later. For these reasons, unit testing is essential in software development. Manual unit testing writing relies on expert knowledge and considerable human effort, leading to the development of many automated unit test generation tools in recent years. Traditional search-based techniques leverage randomly generated test inputs and search algorithms to generate test cases, such as the well-known tools Eversuite and Randup. However, randomly generated test inputs often fail to meet specific requirements, like strings of a certain format. As a result, their branch coverage is still limited. With the development of large language models, recent work has leveraged the powerful code understanding and generation capabilities of these models to generate unit tests, such as CodeMosa. When traditional SPST methods encounter coverage bottlenecks, CodeMosa uses large models to generate better seed test cases for SPST methods. However, CodeMosa uses coarse-grained prompts that include a lot of irrelevant context around the target method, which still limits branch coverage for certain cases. We further analyzed the main challenges faced by existing methods in achieving higher coverage. The first challenge is the construction of complex objects. The construction of some objects rely on other complex objects. And the second challenge is the intricate interprocedural dependencies. The outcome of certain conditions is determined by the execution results of a series of method invocations. Random input generation cannot meet such challenges, and CodeMosa fails to address these challenges due to its inability to extract necessary information from coarse-grained prompts. Therefore, we propose enhancing the prompting process with program analysis to leverage LLM's capabilities in overcome these challenges. To address the construction of complex objects, we can use backward object construction analysis to facilitate the construction of valid objects. And for intricate interprocedural dependencies, we can use branch dependency analysis to extract all associated methods. The typical workflow based on LLMs first constructs a prompt and then leverages the LLMs to generate new test cases. Given the significant time and computational cost associated with using LLMs, we design a new workflow. First, we use existing lightweight techniques to cover branches that are easily covered, and then guide the LLM's generation based on these existing test cases. Here is the overview of TELPA. First, it performs preceding test generation using existing lightweight techniques to generate a batch of test cases. This allows us to identify branches that are difficult to cover, and these existing test cases can also serve as counterexamples to guide subsequent test generation. Next, TELPA collects the methods containing branches not covered by the preceding testing process, and then performs object construction and the branch dependency analysis on these methods to gather information needed for handling complex object construction and interprocedural dependencies. Then, for each sequence, TELPA samples a batch of counterexamples from the existing test cases. Finally, TELPA chooses one sequence and its corresponding counterexamples, constructs a prompt together with the methods dependent on the target method, and then uses the LLM to generate new test cases. Ultimately, the coverage of the new test cases will be used as feedback to guide this iterative process. Now I will introduce this process in detail. The goal of object construction analysis is to extract method invocation sequences that finally enters the target method. Since these sequences represent diverse real usage scenarios of the target method in the project and have a high chance to capture the whole process of constructing objects. To achieve this, TELPA first constructs a method call graph within the module hosting a target method, and then traverses the graph in a DFS manner to extract all passes terminating at the target method as the method invocation sequences. This is an example. The blue arrows represent the call relationships, and the three differently colored dashed lines represent different method invocation sequences. Since sequence 1 and sequence 2 have the same start and end method, TELPA returns only the shorter sequence 1. The goal of branch dependency analysis is to address the challenges that arises from methods where the outcome of certain branch condition depends on other invoked methods. TELPA first identifies branch condition expressions and captures all methods and variables these expressions contain. All involved methods are collected. For each involved variable, TELPA recursively extracts relevant assignments expressions and repeats the previous extraction process recursively. Finally, the associated methods are collected as the result for branch dependency analysis. Here is an example. For the condition expression highlighted in the red box, the methods involved include method 2 and the variables are var1 and param1. Next, TELPA recursively finds out other related methods and variables. Ultimately, the analysis concludes that methods 0, 1, and 2 are related to the execution results of this branch expression. Using the preceding test process, TELPA has acquired a set of tests that fail to reach specific hard-to-cover branches. Then, TELPA selects the tests with the highest coverage for the target method, and iteratively adding tests that achieve the highest incremental coverage until no more tests can be added. This ensures the minimal set of tests to cover all already covered branches are selected as counterexamples. To evaluate the effectiveness of our approach, we compared with SBST technique PyGwin and LLM-based techniques ChatTester and Codemosa. We utilized extensive datasets consisted of 27 real-world open-source projects. The evaluation results demonstrate that TELPA significantly improves coverage regardless of preceding test generation tools. The outperformance compared to ChatTester further confirms the importance of designing task-specific prompting. Specifically, we also investigated the TELPA's performance on the specific hard-to-cover branches. The results demonstrate that TELPA excels in covering hard-to-cover branches, including those missed by other methods. To investigate the generalizability of TELPA, we adapted it to Java and compared it with advanced SBST tool Eversuit and LLM-based ChatTester. The results demonstrate TELPA consistently improves coverage regardless of open-source projects and industrial projects, demonstrating its generalizability across different languages. Then, we performed an emulation study to investigate how each of the main components in TELPA affects the performance. The results demonstrate that each component in TELPA contributes to the overall effectiveness significantly, regardless of the preceding test generation tools used by TELPA. Finally, we investigated how the adoption of preceding test generation tools and LLMs impact the performance. We constructed another two variants. In the first variant, TELPA Scratch, no preceding test generation tool is used. And in the second variant, we replace the default Find Llama v2 with a relatively small-scale LLM, DeepSeek Coder 6.7b instruct. The results demonstrate that applying TELPA to easy-to-cover branches is not recommended due to non-negligible time required by LLMs and leveraging small-scale LLMs in TELPA can also largely improve test coverage. By increasing the LLM scale, the effectiveness can be further improved. To conclude, we propose a novel technique named TELPA. TELPA leverages program analysis to assist LLMs in constructing complex objects and understanding code semantics, thus improving the test generation performance. Additionally, TELPA employs counterexample sampling and coverage-based feedback to guide LLMs to effectively and efficiently generate tests. Our experiments demonstrate that TELPA significantly outperforms both the state-of-the-art SBST and LLM-based techniques in achieving higher test coverage. That's all the presentation. Thank you for your attention.